Hello. Y'all were just like, see, I was off on Monday from both jobs, and I was off on, I'll be off tomorrow and Thursday from the night job, and then I have to work the weekend at night besides Sunday. And I'm cool with that. 'Cause Sunday, I don't know what I want, but I do want something that I can cook, go to church, come home, relax, and I really want to get my clothes washed on Friday, Saturday night, and I want house clean, mopped before Saturday midnight. I want to be in bed. I want to be at church. Y'all, I want to be on a different, not say I want to be perfect. No, not say that I'm going to be in a higher position spiritually. And then I would like to be a better version of my spiritual life than what I am now. Okay. And it's okay. I really do. I do pray for that. But of course, sometimes you got to strip certain things out of your element. And I know that for sure. And then one of my biggest things is doubt and second guessing. So when you second guess, you do doubt, right? But I really want to get that out of my fear factor. I want a different fear. I don't know what kind of fear I want, but I don't want doubt in my fear. Um, with doubt comes with settling. It comes with um flog, foggy thoughts, and it also comes with the tendencies to it comes with a tendency to underestimate your capability. Um, not to settle. That's the goal. Um, and I had to sit down and think about that this year. Like, what is something I need to really get rid of? And that's doubt. All right. And with doubt comes, you will overguess it, you will rethink it, you will replay it. It is what it is. When something's is it time to let go? It's time to let go. Is this time to move on? It's time to move on. And that's in anything. That's anything. That's even relationships with people that you have no business continuing with. That is a friendship. That is, if it's not flourishing, let it go. And I don't mean that's the hard friendship that you can't let go. That's the ones that you can call. I didn't realize that I was in that place with one of my female friends recently when I called her, and I didn't really needed anything. I just no, I think I called her to have company up down the road, right? Because I was going to Lumberton to go to this meat place that it failed very badly, and I was like, "Hey, do you like to go up the road with me?" But it was always I'm under the weather type of vibe. Well, yeah, that's time for me to let go. I yes, it's definitely time to let go. And when I mean that is because this person has the same issues day in, day out. There's no joy. There's no, sure, there's no, it's just the same. And I'd be like, damn. And then I think about it. Do I feel that way in my real life? No. And yes. But that's how you break certain things. That's where, again, you have your doubts. Try not to have conversations with certain people that have doubt. Um, Follow behind. God put people in your life not because of accident. Not because of accident. He put people in your life so they can help you to mold to a better person. So I said that's getting off my chest. So let's go into my thumbnail. All right. So unfortunately, y'all, I have to get on here and put a disclaimer. I do not dislike neither one of these ladies. These ladies are younger than me, and I feel like they are about to crash and burn with just unnecessary decisions, unnecessary over explaining, oversharing, over, and then what you're doing is you actually showing us how you overcompensating your love for your partner. You don't even take time to actually love yourself enough to say, hey, I'm tired. Hey, I need this. Hey, I'm exhausted. So we're going to go straight to Princess Di. We're going to look at a couple of shorts that Princess Di is, and she's talking about this pregnancy. Now, I think I talked about this earlier. She just recently took out her birth control that she had for about 17 plus years. Now, if y'all know 17 plus years, that means that her body has not been regulating like it's supposed to for 17 plus years. So, since she was 17 years old, she's on birth control. Now, she's in her 30s. Now, y'all understand that? She's in her 30s. So, with that being said, your body can't produce what it needs to produce in less than 6 months. It got to retract. So, what she's doing is trying to tell us her cycle. She's trying to tell us her symptoms. She's trying to cry and try to say, hey, I want a baby so bad. But, baby, it might not be meant for you. Maybe a lot of times our problem is not the fact that we want something, it's we overshare to other people. Now we give time for people to start preying on your downfall, start giving you unnecessary advice, start telling you certain things that you really don't need to hear because you want to hear it. That's all it takes. And all she actually had to do was, if you sit here and tell me you read the Bible, you go in your prayer, you worship, you do all that, that's all you need. And let it go. A lot of women don't really need this type of advice. And to me, I'm gonna say this before we go on our thumbnail. I feel like you and your husband never really took an examination together. And that means blood work. See if his soldiers are marching. See if what is his soldier count is versus your egg count. Because personally, you're giving us, I'm trying to have a baby, and I'm supposed to have a baby because everybody else had a baby. Well, that is your downfall. Like I said, I'm going to tell you the truth. You have a very gluttony personality and spirit. When you sit around and you want everything that everybody else has because you feel like you deserve it, it's not going to happen that way. I wish a lot of people understand that. Oh, I want a baby. Babies are not like meals that you can pass around and eat and then, oh, I don't like that. You know, you really have that personality. If you watch Princess Di, she really, that is her biggest focus in the beginning was, hey, I want to eat what you got. I want to try it. We all try it. No, actually, a lot of y'all don't try it. That is a very gluttony behavior. So when she comes on here and she say, "Well, everybody, all my sisters, they had the birth control and and they got pregnant easily," and it's not meant for you to be pregnant easily. You ever thought about like that? You ever thought about? And I'm not saying that her marriage to her husband is the right or wrong way, but sometimes we don't realize a certain move that God is doing on us, and He's also making sure that we're going through it with clarity and without extra stuff. All right. So you just got married to this man. And now I don't count your pockets, I don't count his pockets, but to me, it seems like you have to carry the load. Okay. You got to carry the load. That means you have to figure out the finances, how y'all spending the money, when y'all spend the money, if you can spend the money, because he actually goes to you and say, "Yes, baby, we got an extra room, we got an extra day," instead of him saying, "Yo, let's go get another room." You have to do it. So you got to think about, is my man going to make these financial decisions in peace? Can he do it with his child without your assistance? See, personally, I would not be having my hands in nobody else's child's hair because that's her job and that's his job. But I wouldn't mind dropping her off, sitting with her to the hair shop. But you made it your duty to start doing London's hair. You made it your duty to help London to map out her what she likes and what she don't. If her mama don't do it, why are you going to do it? Has nothing to do with that. But you have to look at it like that. The bare minimum he does for his child is the same bare minimum he's going to do for your child. Also, are you going to be able to understand that it's not just going to be, are you willing to share your child with his first child? A lot of women don't realize that is a heavy load. Are you actually ready? See, and I fault parents not because they put her on birth control, because they really never set her down and have one on one with her. When she was grown, she's a teenager, she just got in a relationship with Jonathan. I refuse to call grown man Cash when he dressed like a cartoon character. Um, but when you get into a place where you are a female and you can see in her older videos that she was fighting with self, that's when they should say, "Baby, I know you like him. I need you to focus on yourself. Not his child, not him, but yourself." Your parents should literally have set you down and told you to focus on yourself because you're scattered everywhere, mentally, physically. I'm not going to go financially, but mentally and physically, you're scattered. You're up, you're high, you're low, you everywhere. God will not put a child in your distance with that confusion. Not trying to be funny, but he won't. And also, I heard her say in this clip right here, I'm going to, baby, this is the reason why I said what I said. This is the reason why I said what I said. You was trying to hear what they was praying. And that lady said, it's not for you to hear. Excuse you? I don't know if you praying over my downfall or you praying for my wound to not to be healed. You praying for whatever. Excuse me, and no, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. That is not of you. That is the reason why it is so important for y'all ladies to have your own prayer life, your own pure God yourself. Because again, she is she wants what she wants at that time. She wants the feel good, the statements, but people are not telling you, hey, this is in God's timing, not princess timing. But if you probably never told us about the whole situation, I bet you your pregnancies probably would came a little bit sooner, probably come a little bit swifter. But I do, whatever God is working on in your life, I do hope that you find peace. I really do, because I really feel like having a child, and y'all, and I'm low key gonna say this, having a child having the greedy tendencies that she really do put out is a ground of destruction. As a ground of destruction. But to each his own. To each his own. I want to keep her in good spirits. That she does come and whatever she hears from God. She don't hear from what her followers are saying. She's not doing any weird things like she's not really enjoying her husband the way that, I would like to say a wife should try to enjoy her husband doing their during that span of not having children. Like if you know, you know. If you have children and you you want to enjoy them, you want to enjoy the little piece, you want to enjoy the little time. You want to rush to compete with who? And this pregnancy is actually trying to compete with whatever she feels like this is the set standard. When I first seen her talk about marriage and getting married, she said that she and Babe wanted to wait to have children after they did what? They had a little, maybe a year of marriage life, maybe some time to go, travel outside the country. This is what she said that she wanted because at this time it sounds good. It sounds okay, but again, and now it makes me wonder if you actually got married because God said that was your husband, or you were just listening to somebody and you just settled for him. Because again, if your husband never got checked to see what's going on with his area, it's useless to telling us about your weekly, your monthly, your this or that, your symptoms. It's pointless. I think you need to go and see if y'all both are compatible at this point. And you don't need to really to bring the cameras in because I guess I'm gonna say this: we're grown. Being grown, we know what grown folks do. And being married, we know what married folks do. It's nothing. It's nothing new. Oh, I didn't even share this with y'all. Hold on. Yeah. So this is Princess, y'all. I was just talking. But yeah, if you're married, we know what married folks do. There's nothing new under the sun. All right, it's nothing new under the sun. But I would definitely tell you to, hey, listen to God. Don't listen to what follower 97 say. Don't listen to us. We don't have that in our hands. We don't have tricks. We don't have positions. Yeah, that was the most craziest thing. Somebody was like, if you do this position and you eat grapes and you stand on your head, you'll be pregnant. Y'all don't listen to people. Hey, whatever we know, we know. When you got a baby, you had it was normal. We didn't think about it. We overslept. We There was a oopsie daisy. There was an accidentally. That was what it was. We wasn't trying. We just having fun. That was the night that we did it. Hey, I know there's a lot of people that can relate to that, but you want that relation before you have to go out your way to do anything crazy, and then it still don't work. And I just need you to actually follow up with your prayer life and listen to God. God don't also give us the words like, hey, my beloved, you got to do this. He's not going to do that. He's going to give you keys. He's going to start working on certain things. And then on top of that, if you probably need to know how or what to pray for, not just a pregnancy. Say, Lord, if there's a lack, please let us reveal it to us so we can fix it before we have this little one. If there's anything that I need to do, wise, what kind of fasting do I need to do? You need to pray for him. And that's the reason why a lot of times you cannot have social media religion. A lot of people have social media religion. And I'm like, yo, it ain't doing us no good by seeing you read the Bible for about 10 seconds. And you say, well, I pray and I work out and I do this. A lot of times you don't realize what effect you're doing to your body. So, again, you should definitely learn what to pray for and when to pray for it. What to be need to be revealed before you have this little person. Because, baby, a lot of times we don't want our children to take our bad elements as their personalities. That's all I'm saying. All right, so I'm done with Princess Di. Let's go into her sister wife, Danny. So Danny, like I said, oversharing goes wrong. Danny, Danny be having some issues. Now I must say, we're gonna say when oversharing comes a problem when you don't realize what you're oversharing. So let's go into this first. Okay, so we're gonna go back and see what this is. This is what happens when you overshare. Okay, so you said this is just my closet, but C2 stuff is up here. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That's C2's everyday clothes, and his stuff is stuck right there. Now, I probably got one closet. I probably got one closet. And to me, y'all, not trying to be funny, but that man right there, he don't live. That's not his castle. I don't care how you say it. That's not his castle. You don't even say, let's make this look decent. That tells me that that's not that man's castle. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, my mom, my mom probably got a closet, and she probably eats up his closet too. But my mom made sure. that when they moved in their house, and y'all, when I tell you, she made sure that she hung up his clothes on his side and she hung up her clothes. Now her side is completely like, Lord have mercy. What can I go in here and steal? That's what I do. But I just realized what I'm saying is his stuff was never out of place because he belongs there. His stuff right now tells me that he might not be there very long. That seems like it's temporary. That tells me that again, he's not there. But when you overshare, you don't realize who remembers what you say. Let me tell you this. You've been with this man for 7 months. Now, I'm not saying that a man has a deadline. He does, but he don't. I'm not saying that. But for 7 years, and you are consistently counting the years. I don't count my 10-year itch. I don't count, oh, completely 10 years. No, 10-year itch is 10 years on and off. That we had our rockiness, but I'll be honest with you, I think probably the last 3 years was the most straight and easy layout me and him had. Again, we're older than what we were when we just turned 30. We just turned 30 with a kids. We was you had young kids, um, and we were just learning how to call this thing called life. Okay, but you 7 years and how you got him was very scratchy. Hey, I met him at my job 1 month. We started talking. I started giving him Valentine's gram after the first month, and then he was over here all the time. We was like best friends. No, he sounds like he was what we call a Papa was a Rolling Stone. Now you're trying to convince us that those 7 years you not settled. Yeah, you are settling. That's the reason why his clothes are able to be stuff ready. That's all they are. They're stuff ready. All they're waiting for is a plastic bag. What he's actually doing is when he comes on the camera, and what they said, y'all think I'm just settling. When he comes on the camera and he told y'all, he said, hey, why y'all always asking that damn question? Are you a married daddy? That sounds like settling to me. But the worst part about it is you talked about your baby daddy number two not being consistent. But settling is being able to be with somebody that is not, he don't take initiative. When a man don't take initiative and you have to do it, that is settling. That man hears and sees all your comments. That man hears and sees what people are saying about him for your relationship with him, and he still don't take the initiative to do half the stuff that he needs to do. That's crazy. To me, that's very crazy. I'd rather have a consistent person than somebody that just sits around and just not take considerate or take the initiatives to do something. See, he didn't even take the initiative to say, yo, when it's time for me and Danny to get married, well, y'all would know. Y'all might know after, but he didn't even take that initiative to tell the people that for you. Now you got to come on here and try to tell us your little pillows off about you and him. Let's go to another one. And it's probably because, again, and I'm going to say this not to be hateful, but, but it's probably because her dad kept her a secret. Now, remind you, she moved with her dad when she was about 12 years old. She didn't know about the other kids that he was been married to this woman for almost 25 plus years. And she said, well, who's this woman? He basically said, this is my ex-wife. This is my wife. So Danny had to grow up being a secret. Do you know how hard that has to be? You got to find your identity. Because whatever happened to her, her mama, and her living arrangements, and her daddy's, and I guess whoever felt like it's more suitable for her to be raised in this environment, can you imagine not knowing your dad's people until you was about 12? See, that's what happens when you overshare. And that's the reason why you will pick the men that you pick. Not because, oh, these are great men. These are, no, you overshare. We already know that you would do bare minimum. Because again, your dad hid you or hid you from the rest of his family. Now, the rest of the family probably knew about you then, but they still hid you. You didn't know nothing about his wife. You did. You was like, why is this woman always around? Why she's here every day? Because you did not know. Because if you knew, you was like, hey, that's yeah, my stepmama, and that's probably why Danny's so. I feel like her personality and her mommy skills is so whacked out. And it's always about C2. She's always about C2 this, C2 that, C. It's because she just don't know what's important. Not saying anything about her daddy, but let's all face it. Your dad was the only factor in your life since you was 12 years old. Yeah, you got daddy issues. No matter how sweet you try to make it, yeah, daddy issues. You got mommy issues. you have a hard time actually loving on your children like you want this man to love on you. This man is not going to love on you because you have issues. That's probably the reason why he is still there. Because some men, they do see your insecurities. They do. No matter how pretty you are, no matter how much you put money on, whatever, you make his life easy, he still see insecurities. There's a Cash look, and y'all, and we're not trying to be funny. Cash saw insecurities in Princess Di. And at first, it's cool. At first, it's cool. But he saw insecurities. Just like C2 saw insecurities in you when you first laid your eyes on him. And you was like, yeah, this is a good chance for him to be around my son. Ding! Because I never understood why he don't take initiative, and he has a mama and a grandmama that's in his life. They don't be like, oh, boy, you see this. Come on, fix that. Uh-uh. Fix that. He don't have initiative. I think Cash Jonathan over there, he has a little bit of push because again, he's around men like her dad, her stepbrothers, no, her brother-in-laws. So he's hearing how to go about doing things without looking back. But your man, he don't care because again, you overshare. You want us to see, yeah, my man does this and my man does that. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. But y'all, that's what I wanted to talk about. Most majority of it, that you'll be surprised that you'll be surprised that women will overshare and put their foot in their butt. Yeah. Now, this is one of the people I follow on um, thing. Now we're gonna look at this video. All right, now there you go again, oversharing. So now you want to throw your dad in it because this is probably your way of understanding that y'all probably won't get married. So I'm gonna tell myself, I don't really want a wedding because my daddy's not going to be there. Mm. Your dad passed away when you were 16. No, was it 14? I'm sorry, 14. He passed away when he was 14 years old. And on top of that, you want to try to convince us that you don't want to get married, but you tell us, hey, yeah, we're getting married. I'm not just settling. What is it? Now, I do know a wedding is different than just actually getting married. Like, you can just go to the courthouse and get married. But what I'm trying to say is, she's realizing when she's saying that is that it probably never happened. Because again, she allowed this man to be more comfortable than making him accountable for anything from 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 the time they met until now. He's probably still the same mentally, the same guy she met at the calling. Was it the calling center job? Y'all ever notice, like, if y'all get married or y'all talk to a person, maybe it was about 2 years, you know how the mind change, right? The mind switch. Like some of us women, we start thinking better. We start, when we feel like we're getting uneducated with certain things, we start knowledging, trying to seek knowledge of certain things. We advance in our job. Even men, they know that, hey, I need a better position. So I'm going to work harder. I'm going to work my way up to management. I'm going to work my way up to whatever they got to work their way up to, right? But this man is still sitting on idle. It's because she literally made him comfortable. Do y'all understand the difference? So, of course, you want to racely say, hey, I don't want it now because my dad's not here. That beats the purpose of what you just said earlier. Yeah, we talked about our wedding. I told him I want my honeymoon in Greece. Oversharing. And this is the reason why when I was that age, I had a spiritual leader, not a cult leader. I had somebody I could go to. When my thoughts was too polluted with my feelings, my what I felt like it was knowledge, my personal knowledge and my understanding, and other people's understanding, other people say so, other people's visions and ideas. When my thoughts got cloudy, I went straight to my spiritual leader. Now, she hear me out and she tells me stuff that I don't want to hear. For example, leave that man alone. Be in church. Do this. People tell you to leave somebody alone. Listen, I don't think she could leave him alone. Not in a feel good for herself. She can't leave him alone because that beats the purpose of what she thinks the ideal of a female is. See, I can be single, but being single, you single already. You single already. A lot of women got somebody in their house and they fully single. See, she got on here earlier in this video and she stated like, oh, I got the house clean and my man went out this morning. It's cold. You went out to play basketball. Oversharing. Hear me out. But you raved about having all these dates with your man. You raved about having a long time. Now, if we look at it and we pay attention to the story, if y'all go back and look at her video, she talked about basically the other kids was with their dad, one and two. It was with her dad. So the third child is hers and his. So he should never have no problem taking you on what? A breakfast date? He didn't have no problems and y'all actually taking you and that little boy to somewhere, a movie, letting the little boy play outside in the bouncy house and just having a good old time. But he didn't do that. But you want to now convince us in a bed by yourself that you and him talked about getting married. No, because she got diarrhea of the mouth. We know he works that night. So y'all be like, oh, what if he works in the morning time? Girl, he works that night. But she needs to pour in her children what she wants that man to pour in her. That's really the biggest factor. Some women they don't realize that. When a man see you pour in your children, they don't mind pouring in you what you need back. But if you want to pour nothing in nothing but to him, he's not going to give you what you want. Man, that's the reason why women, y'all gotta stop making it comfortable for these men to sit and waste your time. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. They call it, was it rape bait? It doesn't matter. If you even have to do that, you meant it. You know what you're doing. Oh, just trying to get people to have content and trying to see. Now that's a totally difference. But y'all, I finished talking about these little ladies. Y'all drop in a comment which I feel, which I think, and we will do probably a comment. If I get enough comments on here, I'll do a comment. Was it comment? A comment Q&A or a jack down, a drop down. We'll talk about it in the comments. But y'all, what is the problem with some of us ladies that is willing to just go ahead and settle? I'm gonna settle for a man that's there. I'm gonna settle for a man that has, if he has, you know, doesn't matter if he has, doesn't matter what he don't have. I got him. You settling. If your man never had his own place and he moves in with you, you're settling. If the man don't know how to do basic things to make your life easy, he don't have certain standards that say, "Ooh, my woman would never do this," or "My woman don't have to. I'm gonna take care of this." When you start paying all majority of the bills, you're settling. I don't care how you look at it. I'm gonna say this: you're settling. You pay half, okay? Because personally, most men that I know, when I was her age, came with their own car, their own house, their own mean of income. I don't know. So when men was like, now men be like, yo, how much your rent? Ooh, that's too much. No, keep it moving. Keep it moving. But C2, he saw benefits in her. He didn't see love. I'm sorry to say that. Because if he did, she wouldn't have this heart to heart to her spirit. All right, I talk to y'all beautiful people later. Bye.